Okay, folks. Good morning. All right. Make sure we're charging this. You know, some would think these are boring little Sherman tanks, but there's a whole lot of customization you could do. I mean, you can't do everything. You're probably on the low end of the customization is paint jobs. Probably not one of the most. If you're going to use them for the U.S. Army or U.S. service. Probably not big on the customization color scheme. But okay, so we drilled out for the antenna. This hatch here is light thunder in the morning, huh? That's unusual. It's not even light out. This is usually the least likely time for there to be a thunderstorm. It's usually afternoons here. And we added these little plates on there, so that's good. We are going to put some extra armor on these things, and we cast, not necessarily for this model, but we did cast the extra loading hatch. It's not backwards, is it? That would be really annoying if it was. Man, let's see here. Just another thing to fix. Again, I don't have an agenda. I got to get this done by a certain time. Good morning. Sherman. It's a pistol port, but it's also a turret Sherman turret. Shell. Why can't I think of it? Let's call it pistol port. Well, that's just a really bad rendition of it. Yes, it is on backwards. Motherfucker. Alright, well, better to find out now than later. Now I wish I hadn't put that 50 caliber on there. Alright. Well, I made copies of it. Not this one. This one. Holy shit, we got an invasion of people. Holy shit, this is working. Holy shit, it worked. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. I've never had that work so well. Wow. I thought I was going to have to chip the son of a bitch off and then have to use one of these. Unbelievable. Well, love those tanks you made. You look fired. Not yet. We're working on it, man. I hope you're having a good day, and if it's not a good night. Oh, did you mess up something? I mess up stuff all the time, unfortunately. But I'll just show you guys how to fix it. Yeah, I fuck up things all the time, unfortunately. It doesn't help when you're not paying attention. The instructions aren't very good. I could have left it that way, but, you know, it would have been gnawing at me. Yeah, man, I've never had something like that get replaced so quickly. Yeah, I get lots of chances to practice how to fix things, unfortunately. Well, I'm not injuring myself and shit like that. So it's not, you know, ultimately it's not that big of a deal. So we did make more castings of this particular item because this was given to me, this tank, which is the same tank painted by somebody's son when they were young. And they didn't have this hatch at all. So I made a casting of it. I made 4 castings of it because this vehicle needs one and so do the armor fast ones. Now that I noticed it, I'm like, well, now I can't unsee it. Now I gotta be missing that. So, yeah, I don't edit anything. So if you see me do a mistake, you guys get to see it. The memory game. Well, my memory's not gone yet, but we're working on it. Let's pull this thing off and see what we have. That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. And this is this Oyone Hino de Washi. Hino de Washi Washi. Hino de Washi Washi is what I call it. That one's not great. Okay, so that might actually not make a good casting. What do we got here? This one's all right. This one's all right. And that one's really good. Okay, so the fat one's the best one. All right, let's trim these things off. Now, it's too much work to do this, and I'm just doing this for companionship. that's it. I'm not trying to do some kind of a Patreon or have some kind of a cult that people are like, oh, let's see me do perfect shit. I do shit wrong all the time, and I don't care. I think it's good to show people, especially if things turn out really well in the end, to show folks that, you know, the ride, the journey to make some of these things look the way they do is full of problems, and you need to overcome them. Yeah, it's like our gameplay videos. I don't edit anything. So, you know, when you see something really unlikely, I mean, that's why I don't watch reality shows. It's all edited. I don't edit anything. It's too much trouble. I could be making more content or editing shit for you. Oh, I don't have time to watch your paint videos. Okay, well, you can fast forward. I don't have time for that either. Well, I don't have time to spend 6 hours making you a video so that I can spoon feed you because you don't have time to watch it. We can do this all day. I think they'll be all. I think they'll be all right. I think these will be all right. They're a little thick in some places, which is all right. We could slice them down. But I'm going to actually wait until they've cured a little bit more, so that way they're a little less pliable and easier to slice. Okay? And then you can reuse this material to make a mold of something different. You know, like I won't need any more of those hatches. I mean, I guess if I get more Shermans or whatever, but this this came in a Fujimi box. This is a really nice model. Like aesthetically, this is a nice looking Sherman. The Airfix ones, yeah, the turret is supposedly a little small, and you know, if somebody doesn't tell you that, you're okay. And then when you look at it, it just there's a little bit more meat on the hull here showing on the two sides than you expect. And after you see that, you can't unsee that. You can't unsee that once it's been seen. So, of how good the tanks look. Well, they're going to look really good when we're done. And it'll look even better than this. But that's the whole thing is, you know, I went to a show. They were selling these models for $2 a piece. I'm like, okay. This one somebody gave to me because it was basically trash. Somebody gave me this one basically because it was trash. I bought this for probably about $2. And this is an old one that I had. So, I mean, my investment level here is like nothing, you know? So I'm like, okay, what do I do? Throw this away or try to make the best out of it? Let's try to make the best out of it. And I took pictures of what it looked like before, so. You can't be like, oh, the tracks are crumbling apart. Okay, so I had some Sherman tracks, but they were old and had shrunk, so I just hot glue gunned them. They're going to go on a stand anyways. So there's no track right here. But when I end up putting the goop there for the ground, we'll cover that like it's sunk into the ground in that one spot. I'm telling you, this is going to be like... easy peasy, man. Easy peasy. You got nothing to lose. You should go to bed right now. It's 4:55 a.m. You're on Central Time? Yeah, you're on Central Time. You haven't gone to bed yet? Yeah, I can't stay up. I think I went to bed at 10. I can't. I'm not a stay up person. Used to be. Not no more. All right, I'm going to, since we are not in a hurry, we're going to get the other cool thing that I finally made. Sprue goo. But we made sure we use this with the California glue because this stuff doesn't smell toxic. You still don't want to eat it, but let's mix this up. I got lots of contact lens cases. So that's how that consists. And of course, we can mess with the consistency by adding more sprue or more of the filler. How's the side? About the same. Okay. They're both the same material. Let's remove this. Let's try to weld. What do we want to use with this? To apply it. Let's see. If I end up needing to get a brush, well, let's not be negative. We should be able to make this work. And I don't have to do any of this stuff, right? I could have just painted these right off the way they were and they would have looked fine. But this is another way to make them all look different. They're all going to have nicknames, which is the part I'm really looking forward to. And this is really my first foray into this. I've never done this before. Well, using the sprue goo and stuff. I mean, we've built models before. And we certainly painted a few models. That's the part I would say that's where I'm really good at stuff. If I'm gonna brag about something, it's painting shit. If I'm gonna brag about something, it's gonna be painting figures. We've done that for a long ass time. But I learned how to do vehicles quick enough in my journey here that I don't really have stuff that I built multiple years ago that I'm not happy with. Okay, now what we did is we added. I almost wish this was a little thicker. This around the edges. Oh, writing a dissertation. Hold on a second. I'll be right there. Make them unique. I think that's the word you're going for. Unique makes the difference from the others. I'm going to let you know I might be falling asleep as you speak. Well, you could do worse than. I'll try to put you to sleep. Thanks. Yeah, it should be pretty hard to keep you awake at this point if you've been up that long. I'd have to do like a stunt or light myself on fire or maybe cut myself accidentally. I was cutting. No, I was commenting on that the other day. That yeah, that should be fine. That of all the times that I've been modeling, I think I've cut myself with an X-Acto knife maybe twice. Maybe. What's up, Justin? Man, you missed it, Justin. I nobody stopped me. No, when I was building this Sherman, the instructions were so bad. I put the turret hatch upside down, and I noticed it this morning. I'm like, fuck. So I ended up putting the glue all the way around the edge and let it sit a little bit, and then sliced it, and it came right off. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I used up one of my miracles on that. I was preparing to take the thing off and put one of these replacement ones. I'm not meant up to be late, up this late no more. Yeah, that's me. If I stay up till 11, I'm hosed. But that's because I gotta get up at 5. I have to, or I get screwed. I don't want to wake up and go straight to work. So you got to make some of this stuff up, Justin. Man, this stuff is really good. By the way, the glue I'm using is called Micro Weld by Microscale. They're the ones that make the. They're the ones that make the micro. Everything is micro there. Micro set and micro saw, and the little container that the micro set and the micro saw, like the micro set is blue, the micro saw is red, and the micro weld is green, and that's literally what it is. It has no brush or anything. So back in the early '90s, when the hobby store that I used to work at they carried micro weld, and we just use a regular paintbrush. A thin paintbrush, and it's water soluble. It isn't now when you add the plastic in it, I would imagine. But this stuff actually smells pleasant. I mean, you don't want to be, all up in it, but it's a pleasant smelling thing. It's almost like an orange cleaner type thing. It smells better than citrus strip. Citrus strip smells pretty good. And yes, I'm just talking about the smell. I'm not talking about getting high. If I want to go on a trip, I got the house full of tequila. I need 2 hours to get ready for work. Well, you don't need 2 hours to get ready for work. You choose to have 2 hours to be ready for work. It's not like, you got your attendants that are putting you in a corset or something like that. I hope that's not the case. You're up at 5 a.m. There you go. Yep. Well, some people don't have the patience to, do the chat. I wish it could be some voice to it, but I'm just not smart enough to do that. And some people wouldn't be able to handle it. You know what I'm talking about. Not any of the regulars, but, if we did have some kind of a chat thing, it'd be coming, people would come around screaming bloody murder. You know how those people are. The ones that never had a good father figure growing up. Well, I'll have you know, I grew up with two moms. That's fine. One of them needs to be a father figure. If you're a dude, you need somebody to teach you how to fucking be a man at home. It could be a woman. That's fine. Somebody teach you some honor code, like things that I don't care what the law is. There's just some things you shouldn't do, man. Boy, there's just some things you shouldn't do. And they need to teach it to you by their example, not by, this is what you do, but don't mind me. I'm out whoring around, but this is how you need to be. No, you need to, they'll teach you how to be just by, by example. I think that's why our society is the way it is, because you don't have those dads anymore saying, like, I don't care what the law is, you don't do this. You don't tell people you're going to do something and then don't do it. That kind of stuff. This is some amazing shit. This is some amazing stuff. Oh my God, it looks so much better with it weldy. I say it weldy because it's not, it's not truly. Damn it, I should have taken a before and after. This is why I like doing this hobby, man. This is some empowering shit right here. And I don't think I'm going to do the top. I don't think the top, maybe I'll do a little bit of the front plates. Look at this. Let's see if I can show you a picture of it. Not welded. Oh, almost exact same photo. All right, cool. I'm doing this because this is a way for me to learn some new skills. With no risk. Because you're like, I don't know if it's going to turn out right or not. Just freaking jump in and just start, doing that. Imagine doing designs on real tanks. I would love to do that. Shaved. You just let your hair grow and that's that. Hold on a second here. Lose in the morning. I have a bald head by choice, so it's not like I have to do my hair. Well, lots of people are bald, have baldom. Two moms. You have two moms? That's okay. You don't get to pick who your moms are. Shaved head is more easy and comfortable. Here's what doesn't make any sense. Let's say you're one of those sports people. Why would you have, if you were wearing a helmet all day, what would you wear, have extra fucking hair? Yeah, I get a haircut every month, whether I need it or not. Okay, here we go. This is what it looked like without the weld. I don't have two moms. I don't judge. You don't get to pick that. That's not on you. Well, I had a mom and a dad, but I was born and my dad left and my mom got another mom. That's not on you, man. And then it's kind of subtle. How are we on battery? We good? 99, that's good enough. Yeah, so this is like a way to be good at something else. See, I'm really excited about this whole Sherman thing. Let's find my close up here I have on the front of this thing. Yeah, there's a tiny little weld mark on the top there. We'll go ahead and put that in. But the side of this is open. So I guess, you could like take some rifle fire and go in between this plate and the front of it. Okay, that one has a machine gun. Okay, I think this one's ready to go. I don't think I'm going to add the bits until we're done with them. Let's get done with the 3 Airfix Shermans. All right, this one has this the extra stuff on the front that is not made for this tank. It's actually made for a different tank, and it was specifically molded for these to fit on the glacis of them. So I'm like, let's do a Sherman with the... I had one left over. So the first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and remove this and start putting the antenna hole. Put it in your antenna hole. Put in your antenna hole. There you go. Your mom is 81 and your dad is 83. Oh, so you're like me. You got older parents. Yeah, my dad was... how old was my dad when I was born? 46? 46. So, people are like, oh, how do you have older parents? I said, well, it's better than having a fucking kid when you're 18, man. Like, I was having this conversation several years ago with somebody. I don't want to have a kid so late that when they're in high school, I'm like old and stuff. I said, well, I don't want to have a kid so fucking young that you're fucking poor your whole damn life. You know? That was easy. Hope these other ones are that easy. No, we're not done yet. Shut your mouth until we've won the race. It's bad enough buying your first fucking car. Took me forever to get my first fucking car. I can't remember I can't imagine having a kid at the same time. I was born 78, November 12th. Honestly, don't know how old my biological dad is. Do you know who he is? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, that happens to a lot of people, and it's not by choice. I'm just going to leave that the way that is. It's kind of a weird casting, but to switch that out, we're not entering this in an IPMS competition. If I did, then I have to worry about this turret being too small and somebody nicking me for it, even though they can't paint worth a damn. And the people in the local model club like, man, you need to enter our competitions. I'm like, why? I did something that was competitive for 18 years. I don't want any more awards. I don't really... It's not that I don't really give a shit about somebody's opinion, but not everybody's opinion is worth the same. Like, there's some guys that, you know, if you're a skateboarder, we just pull something out of my ass. If you're a skateboarder and you're really into skateboarding, which I'm not, there's few things I'm worse at than that. But if that's what you're into and you get a compliment from your mom on how good your skateboarding is, or you get a compliment from Tony Hawk how good your skateboarding is, which one carries weight? Your mom hopefully is going to think, you know, you're doing a good job no matter what. I mean, unless you got a terrible mom. But, you know, like, you know, when I get a compliment from people like that do modeling stuff that I think really highly of, like, that means a lot. It's like, that's empowering. I mean, ultimately, I still need to be the one that's happy with it. Now, apparently, the Shermans in Italy, and I'm not making these Italy specific, the Shermans in Italy had a fetish for putting the star in a circle on the turret. You don't see that in France. It's rare. It's rare to see that in France. And in France, it's also rare to see Shermans with this kind of the mantlet, which is the thin one. It doesn't cover the whole front. So we're going to make this one, and you also see this applique armor more on the side, more in France. And you don't see a lot of tree trunks. I was surprised. Not a lot of trunks on the side. You see that maybe later on in the war, but... So this one's going to be like that. This one... Oh, see, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. We already have a crack developing on these tracks. And that happened on the T-34-85. On the T-34-85, we actually had a track that split here on the front. Like, it was all on there, and it split. And this one's splitting too. So if that breaks on me, I got a different kind of issue. So I need to use something that's going to bind those two things together. And I probably need to mix up epoxy and put some there. Yeah, it's damage control to the max. Yeah, that T-34 is painted and the front of the track split. And that's just from these people that put these models in an attic, and the attic soaks the heat of it, just soaks all the rubbery properties of this stuff away. Jim is signing off for the day. We're talking in third person. That's Bob Dole's chair right there. Certainly everybody remembers that skit. Okay, if they're alive. Man, I really don't want to mix up epoxy. I don't think I have much choice. I don't have a spare piece. Now, if that ripped, what would I do? I would probably... could just fire up the hot glue gun. That's a hell of a lot quicker. Can I rotate this a little bit so we don't have the pressure on this angle? Let's just epoxy it down. I feel like it's splitting more as I'm looking at it. I'm like, let's just go ahead and do it. It's the Don't Make Any Fucking Plans modeling channel. Let's use a little scrap of something here. Let me try to mix up the smallest amount. Oh man, this is stinky. I guess this doesn't smell at all if this is like unpleasant. So let's close this up. And I got tons of empty, not that these things are expensive. I'm bad about throwing some stuff away. Some stuff I just like forget. Like, oh, I'll get that later. I'll get that later. They just pile up. That mess that I made, quote unquote mess that I made, hot glue gunning these tanks onto the stands would have been a disaster. Well, I wouldn't have done it. This stuff gets everywhere. You can't get it off your hands. It gets on other things. A hot glue gun just peels off. You know, as long as you don't burn yourself, everything else is immaterial. Kind of hard to tell if there's buildup there or not. Very little if there is. That's why I can't have like this, okay, we got to get these done by a certain game. Like there's a couple days off next week. There's a couple days next week that I'm supposed to be bacheloring. That'd be a great time to like put on a game, right? But no, I'd have to take all this stuff, learn the rules, put all the stuff down. I'm like, now let's knock out some Shermans. I think that should be equal enough. I don't know how much you can be off by the composition of the epoxies and you still get a good bind. I'm thinking probably 20%. So it's supposed to be 50-50. If you're, 65-35, it's probably still going to do its thing well enough. All right, now let me find my glasses so I can find myself here. I need on a pair of glasses to find my glasses. And what we want to use is the needle so that we can clean that thing off and keep reusing it. So the question is the needle over on this side or not? We still got Mr. P40 to fix. Not to fix, to finish. I'm just enjoying doing things at my own pace. Not like hey, there's a tournament for this. Like, no, I don't feel like doing that. This is where it should be. All right. Well, I guess I'll use this the toothpick and try to wipe it off so we can reuse it again. Haven't worked on any models for a week. What up? I'm back. Like after 40 minutes. Hasn't been 40 minutes. You do any kind of modeling, Jim, or are you just here for the banter? That's really why I do this, is for the banter, for the companionship. Like it'd be good if you go online and play some World War II game, right? And then be on there with like people that are like really World War II nuts. But that isn't the case. I got this we'll call it a flight simulator that has World War II planes in it. I'm like, oh, I'll get on there and we can talk about World War II planes while we're playing it. They're just a bunch of kids that don't know shit about anything. I don't care if they're kids. I mean, I knew shit when I was a kid. But it's just a game to them. It might as well be, Halo or something. If people still even play that. All right. How are we doing on time? We're okay. It's not Salt Mine 30 yet. How many trunks do I have? Oh, I got like a thin set of trunks here. We're going to leave one the way it is. We're going to leave this one. We're going to put this one. We're going to give this one some. What are you going to give? Oh, geez, figure out what you're going to say, dude. Are people going to think I'm going to have a condition? I do. It's just not that condition. I'm turning like fucking Porky Pig. Man, I hated Porky Pig. Like, dude, just finish the sentence. I'm going to put the logs, I'm not going to put it on both sides. I'm going to put it on, fuck me up the ass. There we go. Fix that. We're not going to put the logs on both sides. We're just going to put it on this side. This is the side that would normally have two protection things. And that's what they use logs for. I thought it was like, oh, well, in case you got to cross something. In case you got to make a fire, we'll bring some of the forest with us. Nope. And the Russians used that little box and it was full of dirt. Which I guess is better than nothing. We don't want to use all logs because we need that for some of the later war stuff. And we'll leave this one empty. All right, and just for good measure, I'm going to sit that one on its side. Okay, and then this one we're going to leave as is. Okay. All right, now over here, one of these we're going to put applique plates on, like this one. I don't think they used them on the front. On the cast holes, they just put it down here on the side. Which, now that I'm looking at this has a sink mark on the top of this hatch. That's why I just moved that nice cutting thing that I have. I moved it off to the side. We're using this $4 one, and I cut on it. I don't want stuff to, I'm not going to paint on it and have like leftover paint, but the other one I have is too expensive to be. It's going to hurt my soul if it gets ruined. So yeah, I was on a little bit last night. I probably could have worked on this longer yesterday, but I've been enjoying mixing things up. The wife was around, so we watched some TV. That's a loud vehicle. Sounds like a garbage truck. Man, we haven't seen Tritark here in a while. What's he up? He's probably towing people. Well, whenever we run out of microscale stuff, I'm going to be buying it more. This is what my blend is going to be for the plastic. Because this is not unpleasant at all to have this here. I mean, I can barely smell it. And it's not unpleasant. As opposed to acetone hell. Now, this has a ton of shit on here. Gets really goopty, and I don't know what material this is. Man, we could really get outside our comfort zone with something. Let's fucking do it. That's what we're here for, to learn new skills. I'm going to try this on a spot that... This poor thing. Let me show you this. I mean, this is I'm actually going to be on the lookout for more of these. It's a great model. It's a really good looking Sherman. You know, we got goopty paint on there. You got stuff where the handle shouldn't be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what the hell this paint's made out of. So for that, we're going to take some hand sanitizer. We're going to take a brush. Because I have enough time for that. I don't have time for a lot of stuff, but I have time for that. Let's get let's get this brush. This is a cheap ass brush. It's the right size. And if it's enamel paint, this shouldn't be touching it. It won't touch it at all. But if it's acrylic paint, hand sanitizer, Purell hand sanitizer. I don't know how the other ones work. I just know that Purell works well. And this isn't necessarily the area that needs the work, but it's the easiest one to get to. Look at that, it's coming off. Look at that. I have this paint remover made by Testers, and it gummied up the plastic underneath. So I would not recommend this. But this is just hand sanitizer. Look at that. Okay, that's good. This isn't where we need to work. I can actually live with all of this. Here, I don't know what the hell's going on this on the top of this turret hatch. We need to improve this. And I also don't know what kind of glue was used on this 50. Let's see if we can uncover some of these details on the top of this hatch. Archaeology of a kind. Only thing we're doing is ruining this brush. Guess who's back? Man. Too much caffeine staying up, man. I assume that's what you did, to stay up. And I assume you don't have to work today. It's gonna be a rough day. Yeah, you may work night shifts. You might be one of them night shift guys. What's the name of that guy's channel that does all this restoring on? There's probably multiple people that do it. All those restorings on toys and things like that. Those are really satisfying to watch. Guy that'll find an old pistol or something like that and he'll take all the rust off of it and shit like that. The guy with the rubber gloves. What I'm thinking about has a weird channel name like XYYYZ or something like that. It's just a bunch of letters and it's at the back end of the alphabet. One of those people that can be late for roll call. Right? I had to be early. I was like the first person on the roll call unless there was some damn Adams kid. Which case they were first. And then you have a teacher that was cute. Not physically cute, but wanted to be cute and decided to do roll call from the Z's forward. Well, nobody had a Z last name. Usually the Y's are the last names. You got Young, and some guy named Young, he can show up like, 6 minutes later than anybody else because of roll call. Now, I wonder, has the interior of the back of this gun, what a waste. What a waste to model all that. Well, I don't know that we improved this that much. Well, now we are. We have a turret periscope that's just hidden underneath the gunk. Let's find out on this one whether or not these two are going to make good antennas. Well, I hope everybody has a good day at work. If you're retired, have fun shitting your pants today. I wish I was retired. Well, I just wouldn't leave. We'd stay on here. Yeah, that's the problem with this. This little post isn't big enough. So I have to remove the whole post. So you find a flat enough spot that you could start drilling and not walk on you. I should do it. Well, this one went through. So it must be really thin there. Hot damn, we're doing this one. Well, this one was just bare plastic. It didn't have the paint goop on it. Damn. That's perfect. Nice. Okay. Well, that was a fun morning. But now it's time to face reality and go to work. All right, folks. Well, thanks for stopping by. And maybe we'll see you guys in the evening where we continue on our Sherman journey. All right, folks. Bye-bye.